Welcome back, everybody. Welcome into another edition of the Pup Sports Radio Baseball Show. My name is Jose Bouquet, and of course, I'm joined with my preview partners here. It's good old. You know what, Andrew? I'll give you the limelight first. I'll go ahead. I'll
That's a
shine
first.
light on you real fast, Andrew. I want to hear your voice first. Andrew, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Kind of drug out today from almost a 5-hour football game, but it was a fun game to watch. So now I'm ready to talk about baseball and get ready for these championship series.
Good, good. And Samwise, how are you doing down there in Austin?
I'm doing great. We got a hot one today. It's up to like 95 or something like that outside, and it's October 10th, and I'm not all about that today.
Shout out to me for wearing long black sleeves on a
I'm
very
with you.
hell yeah. Hell yeah. There we go. So I didn't know if you got the memo, Sam. It's long black sleeves today.
No, I'm a big boy, so I'm going with like the wicking activewear shirt.
It's a good adjective right there. Wicking is quality. That's
Oh yeah,
so let's talk about the baseball, guys. We have had a very fun week of baseball. The division series are over. RIP to Andrew's Oakland A's, who we eulogized last week, or I guess last show, whatever.
Thursday.
Thursday. We eulogized them on Thursday, and then yesterday, man, we told you guys in Game 4 the Rays were a lock. They of course lost because we jinxed them. Shout out to us.
Yeah, we look so stupid.
Game 5, they come out. Tyler Glass now on 2 games, 2 days rest. They get a win 2-1. They beat the triumphant Garrett Cole. My man Mike Brasso hits a solo shot off of Aroldis Chapman. Aaron Judge hit a home run as well. And who was the first home run? Who hit the home run for the Ray? Was it Meadows? I don't know. Someone hit a home run for the opener.
I think Meadows was game 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Game 5. Because we're moving on from that. They hit the home runs. They got the win. That's all that matters. They're moving on. They've got the Astros now in the ALCS. We've got Astros and Rays, and now we have on the NL side, we have the Dodgers versus the Atlanta Braves. I think that's the matchup we were all kind of looking forward to now that the Padres kind of fell off. And we've got the team everyone hates versus the upstart Rays. So we've got a lot of storylines to get into. It's going to be fun. But does anyone want to comment on the death of the New York Yankees?
Sure, I was glad to see it. I hate the Yankees almost as much as any other team in the league. And how funny is it that Chapman? It was to his doing once again.
Again.
No, I was happy to see it, and you got these storied Rays trying to make the finish to the end of the season.
Sam, do you ever want to summarize your thoughts on those New York Yankees?
yeah. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I think I saw on Twitter last night. Somebody said that it has now been 20 years, and in that time, the Yankees have spent $4 billion, and they have one World Series appearance to show for it.
Andrew, what happened in that World Series?
They won. They won that World Series against some team from Philadelphia, but
those bastards couldn't get the win for us. But
so you spend almost $500 million on Garrett Cole, and you should have saved some of that money to get rid of Aroldis Chapman, because this dude has single-handedly ended your season 2 years in a row.
It is hilarious. Like, you could put just a compilation video of Chapman just blowing a lead or blowing something at the end of the game and just ending their season. It was Altuve. Now
he's given up the most memorable home run in 3 of the last 5 postseasons.
Yeah, he really
he gave up the home run to Rajai Davis in 2016.
Yeah, he did. Shout out to Ryan.
It could happen. Good times. Those fun times.
It couldn't happen to a worse guy. I can't stand Aroldis Chapman. So
nobody can.
So he deserves everything that's happening to him, and he's the most overrated pitcher ever. And I can't wait. This is great.
Okay, I don't know if I say he's overrated.
I am. He's trash.
I mean, he's outside of his personality issues. He is still one of the best relievers in the game.
Let me tell you, Andrew, when Aroldis Chapman comes onto the field, I just get giddy, Andrew. I get so excited. because I know we're either getting walks or some exciting home run to end the series, because that's what Aroldis Chapman is.
That's the feeling that opposing teams had against the Phillies bullpen this year.
Oh yeah, that was good too. That was fun to bet against too. Sorry, Andrew.
Sorry, Andrew.
Sorry.
So, do we have any other memorable? Should we eulogize the Padres as well, the fathers?
That's your guys' team. If you want to go with that, go for it.
Sam, I'll let you eulogize the fathers this time. I know you particularly love them.
Yeah. They did a lot better than I expected to against the Dodgers. The Dodgers came out and just completely destroyed them and showed them that they still run the National League West. But in the Padres' defense, in their 2020 season, they made Southern California have an actual decent rivalry. And it looks like that rivalry is going to be here for years to come. And I am ecstatic for it. The core of Cronenworth and Machado and Tatis and Lamet and possibly Clevenger if he signs a long-term deal there, and just their entire squad has come up, and they look like they're going to try to contend every year for the next couple years at least.
Yeah, I love this team. They've got pitching. They've got cap space. They've got money. Cap space.
Wrong sport.
They've got space. They've got money to work with. They're not afraid to spend the money. You know, Eric Hosmer. Yeah, I get. You know who I always get confused with? I get Eric Hosmer and Mike Moustakas confused all the time. It's just because they're on the Royals and they're just basically the same human in my head. I just want to let you guys know that before we get into this. But they're not afraid to throw the bag around. Maybe Trevor Bauer goes there. Maybe he likes Southern California. Maybe he wants some starting pitching there. That'd be pretty nasty.
I saw he was in Boston the other day.
Yeah, he's tweeting at every fan of a major market. So.
I think that's why he's tweeting at like everybody. Like,
yeah.
The best part is he's watching the postseason. So if he sees a pitcher have a bad start, he's like, "Well, I see you guys need a pitcher." So
yeah. Shout out to Trevor. Hey, Trevor, we'd love you in Boston.
Hey, Trevor, come on the show.
Trevor, come on the show.
Yeah.
I know you're watching, Trevor, but we'd love you in Boston. I'm sure everyone in the media would shit on you because you have a personality, but come to Boston. It's fun. Same thing with
come to Philadelphia.
Yeah, the same thing will happen to you there. So it'll be great. But let's talk about the CSs, guys. Let's talk about those Tampa Bay Rays versus the Houston Astros. I don't think any of us could have seen this coming. We all thought the Astros were going to be first rounding out. We thought they were under 500 with terrible pitching. The hitters were all in a coma. And now I guess Carlos Correa has turned into Barry Bonds crossed with Derek Jeter, and the hitting's alive. The pitching has been good, Zach Greinke didn't have a great start in Game 4, I believe. But, they've put it together. They've got they're my man. Andrew, what's my man's name on the Astros? Let's see if you remember this. Starting pitcher?
Valdez?
Yes, my man. Valdez, he's been dominating. And it's been an exciting matchup. The Rays beating the Yankees. They dispatched the Blue Jays. I think most people thought the Rays could be here, though. So what are you guys' opening thoughts on this series?
I think it's actually pretty intriguing. The way the Astros have been hitting the ball and the way their pitching's starting to come along, I think it's going to be a pretty good series. I think the Astros have a real chance in this series, as disappointing as it might be. But I think it's time for us to stop looking past them, because I feel like that's what we've all been doing up until this point, and I'm not going to look past them now. They beat some pretty good teams at this point, and we always mention it. In baseball, you got to get hot at the right time, and the Astros are absolutely hot right now. We went through their averages and OPSs last game. I don't remember exactly every single one of them. But, Carlos Correa was hitting 500, and his OPS was about 1.7. You had Jose Altuve hitting over 400, I think. Brantley was hitting over 400. All these guys are starting to hit the ball. And it's going to be an interesting series, because as good as the Rays pitching is, some of the Astros guys have been pitching pretty good as well. You look at Game 1's matchup of Valdez versus Snell. I think you can make the case Valdez look better in the postseason. Yeah,
you really could. You guys know I'm not really a Snell guy, but Valdez has been pitching really well, and he might have the edge right there.
Yeah, and that's why I think this series I could see this series going to 6 or 7 games at this point.
Sam?
Yeah, I gotta agree with Andrew. We gotta really start taking the Astros more seriously than we have. I mean, you don't make it to a championship series, especially in a year like this, without playing some good baseball. And I mean, a 2-game sample series where they beat the Twins was not like enough to determine like, okay, this team is a wagon or something like that. But they came out and they really proved that they still have a good playing ability against this Oakland A's team who was playing pretty decently coming to the end of the year and won a hard series against Chicago. And ultimately, it looked like Oakland's pitching just decided to not show up in Dodger Stadium. And the Astros, credit to them, they took advantage of that. I mean, you have to take advantage of what the other team is giving to you. And in the situation, it was, the A's pitching that just didn't do it for them. I can't say that I'm too particularly sad to see Oakland lose. Even though it is to the Astros, I still don't like the Oakland A's being in the playoffs because I don't want them to win a World Series before Texas does.
That'd
so
be hilarious. I hate to see it.
Yeah, absolutely hate to see it. So
I'm gonna go against you guys both. I mean, I think the Rays, if they win Game 1, honestly, then this might be ugly. This might get ugly. I think they could possibly sweep the Astros. To be honest,
I mean, you called the Dodgers sweep, so I mean, it wouldn't. I mean, you're on a
that
roll.
was me. I don't let him get that credit. That was me. I'm not giving him that credit.
I called a sweep on the other side. I forgot who it might be. It might have been.
Yeah, you said the Rays would lose Game 1 and then win the next 3.
Well,
yeah.
But whatever. I think this is a fun matchup. My only concern, if I'm a Rays fan, let's say Valdez gets the edge Game 1, they win a close ball game, whatever. Charlie Morton's going Game 2, I believe, because Glasnow is definitely not pitching for a little bit. Glasnow, you did a great job. You hope you chill till Game 4 at least. But I don't know. Maybe we go Morton Game 2 and former Astro. Charlie knows the Astros, but the Astros know Charlie. Will they just be sitting on those curveballs ready to hit them? They've seen it before. That'd be the concern there. And you go down 2-0 quickly, that's pretty tough to come back from if you're any team. So,
yeah, and I hear to this minute, Stanton's still waiting on that curveball to come in so that he can just take a yard.
Frozen. The funniest part, we'll talk shit about the Yankees again. The funniest part about that whole game was in the 9th inning. Castillo comes back out, but they have Snell and Morton warming up in the bullpen, and I started fucking cackling, laughing. I was just crying. I was like, oh my God, they're going to win this game, and he's going to bring in all these pitchers, and they're just going to shut them down. No problem.
I got a question for y'all since we're back on that series. Does that Brasso home run now take over as the most memorable home run in Rays history over the Evan Longoria one?
Yes, but yes. I mean, I will never forget Game 162. So, no, but that technically wasn't the playoffs.
But you're not a Rays fan, so.
Well, but it's also just a memorable home run in their history.
I would say Game 162 honestly is higher for Rays fans, but playoff I think that's the best.
I mean, I'm going to disagree. I think
the second series. I mean,
so
you beat the Yankees. Who cares? You're better than the whole.
Everybody cares.
They were 8-2 against.
You beat the quote unquote.
Not beating them in back-to-back games since 2019.
But so.
Yeah, they were supposed to do that.
It got you to the ALCS. What is this? Their second time in franchise history?
The ALCS doesn't mean anything if you lose.
It does to them when it's only your second time in franchise history that you're making it.
We ain't giving them participation trophies. I'm not doing it. I refuse. Let's go through the checklist real fast. You go ahead, rebuttal, Andrew. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's not a participation trophy. It's which home run is better and stands out more to Rays fans. That's not a participation trophy.
Well, maybe if they existed, maybe if Rays fans existed besides Dickie V, we would find out. But
hey, there's like 10, 12 of them. Okay.
If there's a Rays fan listening, please comment.
Let me tell you, I can guarantee you there's not one Rays fan listening because the Rays are not popular. Shout out to Dickie V though. He had one of the all-time tweets recently. Dickie V. I was looking for it the other day. It's actually in Andrew's eyes text messages. I need to find it again. But he had a legendary tweet that I'm going to pull up here soon. But we'll go through the checklist for us real quick, guys. Who has better hitting out of these two teams? Who do you think has it?
Astros.
Sam?
This is probably the closest in the entire playoffs. I think this matchup, and I think I'm gonna have to go with the Rays.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah. Because I mean, I was looking at the Astros, and yeah, Correa and Altuve and Springer are all hitting pretty well, but I think the bottom third of their lineup is still not doing that great. And the way that the Rays are playing, the really only bad hitter that they're going to put in their lineup consistently is Lau, who's just in a slump right now.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not a bad hitter. He's just in a slump. But like, if they have a guy that goes 0 for 4 one day, he's not going to be in the lineup the next day because they have their next 5 guys that are all able to go into the lineup, plug in, and go 2 for 4.
Hey, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think they're just a more complete team, lineup wise.
I disagree with that.
The Astros have the names. I mean, if Carlos Correa is gonna hit like fucking Barry Bonds, just smacking home runs, 3-hit games, all this stuff, then what are you gonna do about that? But I don't think he keeps it up. I mean, honestly, maybe he's fueled by the anger of all these people talking shit about him. Maybe, I don't know. But as my man Matthew with a bunch of numbers here says, we love Brett Phillips in this chat, and I'm gonna pick the Rays too over the hitting over the Astros.
Which, bringing up the Astros hitting, did you know that there was only one pitcher on Oakland's staff that they did not throw in that series?
God, who? This is the Drew Pomerantz of the Oakland A's?
No, it was Mike Fiers.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
That's pretty funny.
I didn't even know Mike Fiers was on the roster, to be honest.
I knew he was.
I don't even know where the
fuck. He was a bullpen arm.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I saw some stuff. If they would have extended to a 5th game, he probably would have started Game 5, and it'd been pretty funny to have him start against the Astros in a winner takes all game.
By the way, Dickie V, we'll continue the chat here with this. Dickie V, in at MLB, the Astros are now up 2-0 versus the Athletics. Happy for at OG Swagger Dick, Dusty Baker, Astros man, sending a message. We are for real after all embarrassment caused by cheating in the past. He at my man OG Swagger Dick, who is Dusty Baker, but he seems like a rapper, I guess. I'm not sure what he does. I don't know who this Dusty Baker is, but shout out to Dick Vitale for having an all-time tweet right there. Pitching staffs. Starting pitching. Who are you guys giving the edge to?
I'm going to give it to the Rays, but it's closer than you think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going with the Rays too. If Greinke wasn't pitching as bad as he did in Game 4, I'd probably make it closer. But I think the Rays just showed that Snell, Glasnow, and Morton are just kind of a 3-headed dragon at the top of that rotation that they can use any way that they want.
Yeah.
Greinke will be fine. Greinke will be fine. Don't worry.
Is he though? I mean, he's got arm stiffness and all that stuff.
I'm excited for a Greinke Charlie Morton Game 2.
I'm waiting for Justin Verlander to throw lefty. So,
could you imagine if Justin Verlander just came back and just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to this World Series"? Shout out to Justin Verlander. He probably already got his surgery, so shout out to him. Bullpens. Who do you guys have?
I mean, just season-wise, Rays, but the Astros have pitched better than I thought they would be.
Okay. Shout out to Nick Anderson, I believe his name is, the reliever who on the Rays that I absolutely love.
Yes.
The first hit allowed by Nick Anderson against the Yankees this year was the Aaron Judge solo home run. That was the only hit they got off of him all year. That is absolutely my favorite stat of the year. Sam, do you have a bullpen take, or are we just going to give this to the Rays in a wash?
No, I'm wholeheartedly okay giving it to the Rays. I mean, they just absolutely dominated the Yankees hitters last night, and I think they only used like 2 or 3 pitchers to do it too. Yeah, they only used 3 pitchers, and each of them went 2 innings, and collectively they only gave up 1 run, and that was a solo shot.
Again, Nick Anderson, too, the best one of all those guys, too, probably. I have a man crush on Nick Anderson, guys. I just want to admit that now. I really like Nick Anderson.
I kind of figured that out by the amount of texts I get about Nick Anderson.
Yeah, whenever he comes in, I just flood Andrew's phone. Especially when he comes in with 2 men on and just strikes out 3 guys in a row. Oh.
Between him and I'm blanking on the Blue Jays pitcher that you used to always text me. What?
Nate Pearson?
Yeah, Nate Pearson. Between those two, every time Pearson would come to the game as well, I'd be getting text messages.
Well,
when they both came in at the same time, it was game over.
James Karinchak also I love, but he really disappointed me, so we won't speak of him anymore. Manager guys, I'm giving this to the Astros just because of Dusty Baker's experience.
Yeah, I like Dusty. I've always been a Dusty Baker fan. I'm giving it to the Astros as well.
I'm giving it to @OG Swagger Dick, Dusty Baker.
Yeah, I got to give it to Dusty too. This just proves that the Nationals' mishaps weren't his fault; it was the players.
Yeah, for sure. All right, does anyone have any final thoughts on this series before we move on to the National League?
Are we doing our predictions after both series, or you want to give predictions now?
We'll do it after both series.
Okay, then I'm good.
All right.
I have one thing I want to bring up.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
This is just a fun stat since we're talking about Tampa. So of the 4 GMs / head executives that run baseball operations for the 4 teams left, 3 of the 4 got their start in the Rays front office.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
The Rays are the smartest team in baseball, arguably, probably. That's how they compete with such a low budget. So shout out to them.
Hey, and hopefully the Phillies steal another guy from in there. So we'll see.
Hey, the Red Sox already stole one. So
the Rays executive team is what Oakland wants them to be.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, I agree with you. Let's move on. I think this is the more star-studded series that will get more views. The Atlanta Braves, who have, I believe, they've swept everyone. They've undefeated in the playoffs so far. The pitching has been phenomenal with Max Fried and Ian Anderson versus the juggernaut that is the Los Angeles Dodgers. We all knew the Dodgers would be here. The Braves have been just as good. The hitting has been phenomenal from both sides. This is kind of 2 teams. The Braves are definitely the more home run heavy squad, while the Dodgers are like death by 1,000 cuts. But this is going to be a very fun series. And I'll start off by saying this. Do you think the winner of this series will win the World Series?
Yes. I think the winner of this will be the World Series champion.
Okay.
I mean, I'll say this. I think these 2 offenses are the best 2 left in the playoffs. Offense-wise, I go Dodgers, Braves, Astros, Rays. Dodgers, you could argue, have the best starting pitching left in the playoffs, have the best bullpen. I mean, and then the Braves, they can out-hit anybody, and their pitching to this point can match anybody. So I think the winner of the World Series come from the NL this year.
Sam, that's a hot take. Do you agree?
No. I think the one scenario where that wouldn't be the case is if it's Rays Braves. I think if the Dodgers win, then no matter who they face, they're going to win it. But if the Braves win and then they face the Astros, I think the Braves win it. But I think it's probably leaning towards the Rays if they end up meeting Atlanta in the World Series.
Sam knows where the futures are, Andrew. Sam knows where the money is, so he's just.
I know where the money is too. You asked for my prediction, not about your futures.
That's to make me feel good.
You asked me about my prediction, not your futures.
Sam, that just warmed my tummy. Thank you. I appreciate that. That made me feel really good. I think these are the 2 best teams in baseball right now. I don't know where we could start here, but I guess we should start about the Braves starting pitching because they have been. I think they've been the surprise of the playoffs. If we can think about that off the top of our head, we didn't think they would be as excellent as they would be. Ian Anderson doesn't even have 12 starts in the majors, and he's been phenomenal. Max Fried has been awesome. Who the hell knows who they'll throw in Game 3? Kyle Wright did great. I mean,
he was surprising. I couldn't believe what he did.
Yeah, I mean that's shocking. He had a lot of traffic on the base passes too, and he just pitched around and got a curveball here, strikeout there. But the Braves have not faced a good offense yet. Let's just be honest with us. They faced the 2 worst offenses in baseball or in the playoffs. The Reds were trash on offense. They couldn't even score a run, obviously. And the Marlins were a great story, but they just didn't have the names. They don't have the firepower that the Dodgers have. And I think, Andrew, I'm going to continue my sweep trends here. I could see the Dodgers winning this in 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, I mean, you stole that from me, honestly. I was gonna say this. This is as good as this could be on paper. Braves hitting's gonna have to step up an extra step if they want to extend this series to 6 or 7 games. Because, I mean, like you mentioned, this is gonna be the toughest team their toughest group they face in the playoffs. Actually, probably the toughest team they'll face all season. Because they're better than the Rays and they're better than the Yankees. So toughest team they faced all year. I think. As good as Max Fried's been, I still like Clayton Kershaw or Walker Buehler over him. As good as Ian Anderson is, I like whichever one comes out of that as well. And as good as Kyle Wright pitched last game, I still like Dustin May better than that. And then Game 4, Braves might go either a guy on short rest or I'm on their depth chart now, and it's Josh Tomlin. The 4 guys in the rotation are Ian Anderson, Max Fried, Josh Tomlin, and Kyle Wright. So if you're going up against Josh Tomlin against I always blank on his name. Who's the 4th Dodgers pitcher you sent me the other day? What was it?
Gostelin?
Yeah, I'm taking him over Josh Tomlin at this point in Tomlin's career, especially. And then bullpen wise, Dodgers as well. So I mean, as good as the offense has been, they're gonna have to take it up another notch if they want to extend the series. But everything points to Dodgers in this series.
It's pretty surprising that we're both on that. Sam, could you be optimistic about the Braves?
I honestly, in good faith, can't. And it's not my total fault. It's more of the fact that Rob Manfred decided to shove the Braves-Marlins series at the ass crack of dawn on hidden TV channels. And so I was not able to watch any of these games at work. And so I really don't know what the Braves look like outside of a box score because I wasn't able to totally watch them. But I'm very excited to watch them because I personally love Freddie Freeman. I think he is one of the most wholesome players in baseball. He's just genuine. He can absolutely smoke the ball. He's a Gold Glove first baseman. And I really think that he, as you know, a 31-year-old man, like he's ready to lead a team to the World Series. And so I'm excited to see how he steps up his leadership to really get this team motivated to make it to the World Series they're in the championship series for the first time since 2001. I mean, these players have to be stoked.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. Who I was thinking about this off the top of my head. Who is the best player on the field in this game? Are we saying it's Mookie? Are we saying it's Bellinger? Are we saying it's Freeman? Who's the best position player in this series?
Best all-around player, Mookie Betts. To me, it's not that close.
My heart.
There you go. That makes up for the future.
Thank you.
No, I mean, best hitter, Betts. Best base runner, Betts. Best fielder, Betts. I think you have to give it to Betts. I like Freddie Freeman. I agree with Sam. Class act. Best first baseman in the game for a while. But I think Betts, I would definitely give the edge over as a better overall player. And we saw the kind of, I don't want to call it decline. It's only been 1 year, but the kind of back step that Bellinger took this year. So I think that kind of ended any debate between Betts and Bellinger. But yeah, we're talking overall players. I gotta go Betts. Maybe if you're talking about one season, you could talk otherwise, but overall player Betts.
Sam.
Yeah, I would say Betts as well. The only thing I could possibly say is maybe you have a case for one of the Braves players as a defensive end that they might be better than Mookie, but I mean, in reality, I mean, Mookie Betts is the best player in baseball not named Mike Trout.
Yeah, real shame. So, would be a tragic situation for a team to trade that kind of player. By the way, Andrew, I'm surprised you didn't say any no love for your boy Marcell Ozuna. Nothing there.
Again, if you're talking best season, there's other statements. But we're talking better overall players.
I was just asking,
I mean, MVP is Marcell Ozuna. MVP is Marcell Ozuna. Is that what you want me to say?
Yeah, that's exactly what I want.
Okay.
They give out ALCS and NLCS MVPs, correct? I mean, that's true because Jackie won it for the Red Sox. I want to go ahead. Do you guys have anything else to say about either team real quick? Because I'm going to go ahead and ask for your predictions here.
Go ahead, Sam.
No, you go ahead, Andy.
No, you got it.
I was going to say, I'm reading some stuff off of Reddit, and somebody pointed out this is the 6th year in a row that the NL will send a team to the World Series looking to end a 25-year plus championship drought.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that. I like
Braves have one title, and that was back in '95 before any of us were even born.
And that is in fact true. Yes, we were thought about but not conceived.
Oh, I wasn't even there yet.
Yeah. Hey, since I was there, I was like, 97. So not thought about, but whatever. Yeah. Okay. So when's the last time the Dodgers won it? Like 1960 or something like that?
It's like 86 or 88. Yeah, the Kirk Gibson home run.
Yes. Okay, good.
With Tommy Lasorda running out of the dugout at -4 miles an hour.
Hey, well, the Astros are still trying to win their first one too. So are the Rays. And you have something to say, Andrew?
No, I was gonna say, did you guys see the stat that I think it's if Kershaw picks up 2 more wins in the playoffs, that he is the most active playoff wins out of any other starting pitcher?
I mean, the narrative that he's been bad in the postseason is kind of overblown now. We've cranked it up a little bit.
Yeah, that still surprised me to see a little bit.
I mean, they've made the playoffs 8 years in a row, and he probably pitches game 1 every time they make it, and he probably wins that one too. So that's at least 8 wins right there.
How many does he have, Andrew?
I think it was 11, and then Verlander and somebody else were tied with 12.
I'm gonna guess Scherzer.
Let me see if I can find the tweet by the end of the show.
All right, well, let's get into the little predictions here. I want to give out some odds though. I want you guys to guess. If you had to guess, what are the odds? What do you think the Tampa Bay Rays odds are to beat the Astros in this series?
Well, I don't like them against. I'm gonna go. Let's go plus 180.
Wow, the Rays plus 180. Okay, Sam.
I'm gonna go minus is the favorite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like minus 135.
It's Andrew. I think this is gonna come to a shock to you, particularly since you said they're an underdog. They're minus 170.
That's surprising. With the no love they gave to him in the Yankee series, I'm surprised they're showing it to him now.
Big surprise.
Which, speaking of that, did you see Fairbanks' post-game interview?
Fuck yeah.
He's
an absolute legend. Shout out to him beating the golden boy or whatever, the golden child that he said. That's awesome.
So now ESPN's finally going to get their name right.
Good. Thank you. Same challenge with the NL. What do you guys think the Dodgers are? Minus what? Because they're obviously favored.
Yeah. Wait, so what was it? Minus 170 you said for the Rays?
Yes, minus 170 for the Rays.
I'll go minus 160. I'll go similar, but they'll give Braves a little better chance.
Okay. Sam?
Minus 200 flat.
Minus 230. Sam's better than you, man. Look at this. You're beating you're taking right now. Let's get these predictions. I'm sure we've been waiting for this for a long time. People are waiting. I'll go first. I am the Rays homer right now. I have my future on the Rays. Plus 1,400. Love to see that. I'm going to pick the Rays. I'm going to pick them in 6 games.
I'm going to surprise everybody here. I'm going with the Houston Astros in 6 games. It's time to stop sleeping on them. 1. 2, it's just got that Dodgers-Astros rematch after everything that happened. Just got that feeling towards it. And, hey, I like the front end of that rotation. Valdez and Greinke can go out and win 2 games possibly to start the series off. So
hey, Greinke just needs to stay healthy. He needs his arm to stay in his socket. Sam?
I'm going to go Rays in 4.
Woo!
Wow.
Woo! Sam, defend it.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to turn out a lot like the Dodgers series that we just had against the Padres. There is clearly a better team here when it comes down to like the final third of like a lineup or when it comes to a bullpen that just has better experience in doing what they do. And I really don't know if you can be any more confident in yourself than the way that the Rays are right now, because they are always getting treated as the underdog, truly the underdog, not like the way that the Astros think that they are. And they just want to come out. They want to prove everybody wrong. They won 40 games this year. They are not a fluke team anymore. They are good enough to contend. And I think they come out with just an absolute killer mentality like they did in game 5. And if they're getting contributions from dudes like Michael Brasso, who was undrafted, then I don't know how you lose a series. I mean, it was the same way that we see like the Heat, like what they're doing right now. I mean, they just have a full team game going on, and I think the Rays get that energy being another Florida team, and they're going to try to win it all.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that we've got enough Mike Brasso, guys. The Brasso experience is real. Shout out to Mike. I said Rays in 6. So okay. We got Rays in 6, Astros in 6, and a Rays sweep.
Are you writing that down so we can go look at it later?
Sam, no, sorry, Andrew is. Andrew's definitely writing these down.
Absolutely.
I know Andrew is.
I got you.
He's our record keeper.
Well, I was going to say, because I predicted, I was the only one that said Rays in 5. You guys both said Rays in 4.
Hey, when you're right, you're right. We're all right. I mean, we all look like fucking dumbasses when we said Rays in the 4th game. They're gonna win. They can't do this. Jordan Montgomery's nothing. And then, of course,
Yeah, I mean, you said bet the house on the Rays in that game.
yeah, I did indeed.
Came out and scored 1 run.
It was great. Really
I said Dodgers sweep, so
yeah, you said
There you go. There you go.
And if you watch the other game, I mean, we said the Dodgers over. I mean, that's stuff to hit. You know, we were wrong with our big bet, but fuck it. You know, we're coming back. Next,
hey,
you
got the Brave sweep right, Jose. So
yeah, of course I did because I'm a smart guy. You know, pat on my foot.
So we each got a series right.
R.I.P. Twins.
So yeah, I definitely, if you're gonna bet the series straight up, I bet Astros. To be honest, I mean, this might be just me because I have that future. I think you have better value.
Wait, you'll bet the Astros?
Yes. You heard me. They're plus 145. I don't think they should be. I think the Rays should be at lower. I think it should be like plus 110. To be honest, each of them. I think it's a close series, but I think that if you just roll the Astros and they lose in six games, I don't think you can hate yourself for that. I mean, yeah, they've got the bats, so at least the games will be interesting.
Yeah. No, I just was surprised you say the Astros after picking the Rays. That's all.
Yeah. Well, you know, I surprised a lot of people.
There's who you pick, and then there's who you bet on.
Yeah. Thank you, Sam. Sam knows.
So I usually bet on the team I think that's going to win. If I was a bet,
you got to go where the odds are telling you.
Yes, Sam's on point this show, Andrew. You need to pick it up, Andrew. Come on. The next thing is Dodgers Braves. Like I said, Dodgers minus 230. Is this Padres? What it says Padres, and it says the website I'm looking at. It's all messed up. The Padres didn't win, but the Braves are in there. What do you guys think here? Where are we going? Where we're leaning? Is anyone daring enough to pick the Braves?
No, I think it's going to be similar to the Padres series. You're going to get some really good games, but ultimately you're going to get the better team to win. I think Braves might steal a game. I'll go Dodgers in 5 here.
Okay. Sam?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Both of these teams have yet to lose a playoff game this year. And because they both swept their first 2 series.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they've been on a collision course. I think the Dodgers, I mean, they're a wagon. I'm hitching myself to them. They probably have just the absolute best team that I've seen in my lifetime. And they would absolutely just crush anybody that comes in their way. The Braves are probably going to be their biggest challenge. But I think that the Dodgers win this in 5.
Okay. By the way, I just want to let you guys know a Dodgers sweep is plus 700. Dodgers 4-1 win plus 375.
All right.
Those are big bets right there. Someone could make.
What team you taking overall? This year's Dodgers, or what was it, the 18 Red Sox?
Fuck you, Andrew, for asking me such a hard question.
Hey, you told me to bring it, so I'll stump you with a question.
I mean, I'm a homer. Cody Bellinger hasn't been playing well this year. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if we extend it to a full 162, he probably turns it on at some point, figures it out. But no one on the Red Sox team that year really struggled hitter-wise. Everyone had a great year as the best Red Sox team in history.
You know you want to say Dodgers. You know it's the Dodgers. Just say it. You know the Dodgers pitching and bullpen, or starting pitching and bullpen is better.
I'll go with the Dodgers because I think they're that fucking good. By the way, just a World Series odds update. Braves are at plus 425. The Astros are at plus 400. The Dodgers are at plus 125, and the Rays are plus 225. So Vegas definitely looking for the Dodgers Rays World Series. I'm gonna pick the Dodgers in 4, like I said. I think they get to Ian Anderson enough. You know, I think he'll still pitch well, but he won't shut them down. I think he'll go like four innings with like maybe 3 runs. Does an okay job. Hands it over to a good Braves bullpen, but the Dodgers get the win. I think Max Fried just doesn't pitch as well as his counterpart. So, and once you're down 2-0, it's only a matter of time then, especially for this Dodgers team. So I'll take the Dodgers in a sweep. I think they demoralize the Braves. And then we get, I think we all picked, besides Andrew, the Dodgers Rays World Series. Andrew, if we get Dodgers Astros, I will admit it would be much more entertaining.
Yeah, I think it would be more entertaining too. I mean, again, you're going to get the rematch of the big cheating scandal year. And I don't know, it just seems like the way it's starting to shape up to be. Like, I just got that feeling.
It's 2020, right?
Yeah, it's 2020. After the Astros did what they did, they're just like, you know what, they're gonna find a way to get back. Like, we all counted them out from day one of the Twins series. They sweep them because they had that awful road record and everything. Twins have the best home record in baseball. They find a way to get it done. You just know it's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong, but
it would be fun.
I got a hot take for y'all. The Astros would not be doing this well if there were fans in the stadium.
Fuck.
And no, and that has nothing to do with the cheating. I wholeheartedly think that it's because they have 8 rookie pitchers on their roster.
Yeah.
If there was an actual atmosphere at these games, especially like down in Tampa, because they can get rowdy for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's
like
they would
up. That they would absolutely just manhandle these Astros pitchers, and I'm sure Oakland would have done the same thing if they were playing in the Coliseum.
I agree with you, and plus the Astros hitters would just be fucking sick of it by now. They would just be sick of just like trash can jokes and.
Well, I wasn't even thinking about the cheating. It's just more of like the way that fans cheer in a playoff game, especially a baseball playoff game, is just second to none that I've ever experienced. And you know, they absolutely rattle pitchers. I mean, look at what the Pirates did to Cueto back like 10 years ago. Like, they made him drop the ball on the mound, and then they give up a losing home run in a wild card game.
Speaking of fans, which out of all the playoffs so far, which one did you guys miss fans at the most?
I mean, Yankees Rays is the easiest one.
No. I mean, like, out of all the sports.
Oh, definitely not basketball. Basketball is better without fans. I mean, we talked about earlier. We've watched like 5 collective minutes of basketball between us 3. Football has fans, so I mean, it has to be baseball, I guess. Are we gonna say it's hockey? Okay.
But I'm asking you guys. That's your question.
Hockey guy, so.
Absolutely, a hockey playoff game is incredible to experience. I'm also very biased considering the fact that my team just did go to the Stanley Cup, and I really think that if whoever won the Stanley Cup, like if they allowed fans in that stadium, holy moly, they would have just gone insane.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you. So,
And a hockey crowd is ruthless. They are evil. They are going to get in the opposing team's head, and they know that. And so they absolutely would have enjoyed it to have fans there.
Not Flyers fans, though, right, Sam?
Now, Flyer fans are the best. Flyer fans are the best. They'll curse in front of their 2-year-old kid. They don't care.
Sam got a good taste of Flyers fans when we went to, what was it, Flyers Hurricanes, maybe?
what happened?
It was a Flyers Preds, and like
Preds?
this dude in front of us, he's there with his wife and his 2 kids, and they're like 6 years old and like 3. And there was like a bad penalty that happened against the Flyers, and he's just like cursing up a storm. He's drunk. He's just yelling, even like a minute into the power play.
Good.
And he's just absolutely going off on these refs, and we're just sitting there laughing because we're like, his kids are just right there, and like, like normally like a mom would like hide their ears, and their mom was like, no, just they hear this at home too.
Mm-hmm.
I forget. He turned around and said something. I don't know if he apologized. I just remember him turning around and saying something to us. I don't remember what it was.
I was laughing too. I don't remember either.
Does anyone, you guys have some final thoughts about baseball as a whole, this whole playoffs thing? I mean, we've covered all the teams, have our predictions out there. I mean, like I said, most of us think it's going to be Dodgers, Rays. Do you have any final thoughts going into this?
Yeah, I'd say for me, to answer the question, I'd say baseball. I miss most the fans wise. I like the outside atmosphere, rally towels, and everything. And I feel like the atmosphere in a baseball playoff game you just can't beat, especially once you get to like a game 5 or an elimination game, game 7. Now that we're at that stage, so I'd say baseball there. But I gotta give credit to baseball. I think as much as we ripped them before the season, I thought when it came playoff time, I thought they've done a fairly good job here, keeping it as safe as possible and doing all that. Outside of the TV issues, I mean, I don't get why they're throwing games on MLB Network still in the playoffs. But just in terms of making sure you get the season done, I didn't think they'd be able to finish it. So shout out to them for finding a way to get it done.
I agree with you. Mr. Sam?
I'm actually going to go a little bit opposite of that. I'm actually kind of disappointed in the way that the league is running itself right now. No, and hear me out. Hear me out. Okay. What are some of the rules that they implemented this year because of COVID are just absolutely not getting followed right now? Like, I have yet to see a mask on anybody that's not a manager or a bench coach. None of the players are really distancing after games, and like they're supposed to be non-contact, and yet at the end of like game 4, I think it was, there's a video where they just follow Aaron Judge and he's high-fiving everybody in the Yankees clubhouse, and like they're all high-fiving each other, but like they're following him, and it's just like, and then the big thing was like players aren't supposed to spit, and then they're not supposed to like lick their hand when they're pitching. They're supposed to use like that wet rag that they have in their back pocket.
Fine.
And I think it was, I can't remember who it was. I think it was a pitcher for the Cubs. I was watching their game against the Marlins, and like every pitch, he's just going there and he's just licking his fingers like nothing's going on. And so I'm really kind of disappointed in the fact that like Rob Manfred and the league office have not like cracked down on that after they claimed to earlier in the season, especially when you have like leagues like the NFL where they're fining head coaches and players for not
all of the money.
Yeah, all of their money. Like they're just not. They're getting fined for small things, and yet MLB is sitting out here just letting their guys go willy nilly. And I wouldn't be shocked if there's a COVID case that pops up.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen with the fans that they're allegedly allowing in the stadiums now too.
Which they sold out all the World Series games in like 2 days.
Sam,
the only reason why they open that up is because the NFL they're getting fans. If the NFL doesn't have fans, MLB doesn't try it.
Sam, I was gonna invite you. We were gonna go to Houston and then Arlington to go, but
I'm not going.
Oh, you can still find tickets. Just go on one of those ticket apps. They're sold out from the MLB.
Sam, I was gonna buy, but I guess since they're all sold out, I can't. I'm sorry. I apologize. Sam, by the way, every show you're on now, I have to end it with Hamilton mixes. So I'm glad that we could have you.
Oh, wait! I got one more thing for you, Jose. Okay.
Sure.
I got an argument with you that I got to pick because you mentioned this before, but you haven't brought it up recently. How in the world can you do the mental gymnastics to want Alex Cora back in Boston?
Mental gymnastics. What did he didn't do anything wrong in Boston. What are we talking about?
He did do something wrong in Boston. That's why they fined him draft picks. Okay,
no, Sam. Here's what happens, Sam. The MLB baseball, they're always against these big market teams. Blah 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 blah. They investigated the Red Sox, and when they realized, oh well, we're gonna go through all this trouble and we're not gonna find anything. Fuck no, we're gonna slap him on the wrist. We're going to give Alex Cora a year ban because he was in Houston and all the players were like, Alex Cora did it, when Alex he was no fucking more guilty than anyone else on that fucking team. So let's start there. So Alex didn't do anything wrong in Boston, and MLB is not going to fucking go through all of this trouble and not just give them a slap on the wrist, say, you know what, here's a fine, here's some draft picks. We shouldn't even got that anyways. They didn't even do anything.
I still use Apple Watch as a cheat about a year ago too. So
you know what, Andrew? I don't know what you're talking about, dog.
Yeah, okay. How does a team like that not cheat in any way? You won 108 games and you lost like 2 players after that, and you dropped down to 84 wins.
Sam, I told Andrew this. It is the World Series curse, dog. It is the same thing that is happening to the Nationals this year. When you were in the World Series, you get fat and happy. And you're like, you were the shit, blah, blah, blah. We have nothing to go for now. So they get their shit pushed in the next year because, bad luck and all this stuff. And then you get back into it. The Nationals had the same thing. Juan Soto gets hurt immediately. Well, it was technically COVID, but he didn't even have it.
Nationals are a little different. Nationals are a little different.
You know what, Andrew? I told you. You said there were so many people picking them to win the division. I said,
I didn't pick them to win the division.
There's no chance. So
okay, go back to Alex Cora. I don't care. Okay, if he didn't do anything in Boston, he's still associated with everything that went on in Houston. And I don't know how any team, because I think the Tigers are now looking at AJ Hinch to possibly replace Gardner. No, they absolutely should not. Why would you want a cheating coach like that anywhere near your organization?
Because he didn't cheat in Boston, and when he was there, they won 108 games and won a World Series. That's my explanation right there. No fucking problems. No.
Okay.
If anyone gets hired, Sam. If anyone else gets hired to manage the Red Sox next year besides Alex Cora, I will lose my fucking mind. I will go ballistic. I will call you and Andrew on a group FaceTime, and you will never hear me more angry because Alex Cora is the manager of the Red Sox.
What if another team picks him up first?
I'll fucking kill John Henry. I don't know. I'll die, Andrew. He's not going anywhere. He's going to Boston. The players want him back. The manager wants to come back. The only thing that's not keeping this from happening is PR. And all of the fans, let me tell you, all of
just
the fans want him.
Just like Anthony Davis is going to be a Celtic, and just like Mookie Betts is coming back to the Red Sox, and we want to keep going down the Boston wish list.
Andrew, sometimes I just speak out of my ass, I want to speak it into existence. Sometimes I want.
Oh no, I hear you. I understand that. But it doesn't mean I can't make fun of it when it doesn't happen.
But Andrew, this is what's going to happen. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind he's going to be the Red Sox manager.
Why would he want to come back? You traded away pretty much every good piece that you had.
Well, okay.
Why would he want to come back to an organization that let Mookie Betts go because they signed Nathan Eovaldi to a 5-year, $150 million contract?
Yeah, you know what, Sam? Every time I think of Nathan Eovaldi's contract, I just think of the 18 innings he pitched in Game fucking 4 of the World Series or Game 3, whatever game it was. That's what I think about. I'll give him.
Live in the past. You're not going to win a World Series that way.
Well, here's why he's going to come back. He's got Chris Sale coming back next year. Red Sox signed George Springer to start center field next year.
No.
That's different though. You don't want Springer because he's associated with cheating.
No, I don't want Springer because he's not as good. No, Andrew. Because here's the thing, Andrew. I'm glad that we got into this Red Sox.
Who's better, George Springer or your current center fielder?
George Springer. Have a current center fielder.
Exactly, George Springer.
No, if you sign George Springer for a long, big money deal, I will lose my mind because you know what everyone's going to say? If you can sign George Springer, that fucking bum. If you can sign him and you can't sign Mookie Betts to fucking whatever he wants, I'll lose.
It doesn't have to be a long-term deal. I can see Springer's already 32. He might get a 3-year deal.
Springer's going to get at least 5. That's 5 years too many for me.
That's not guaranteed. 5 years not guaranteed.
No, thank you. I'm all set there. You know what, George? Enjoy Houston. I'm sure you can go anywhere you want, but he's going to re-sign in Houston. He'll get a good contract. Good for him, but don't come anywhere near Boston, please, for the love of God. No.
I can't wait for Alex Cora to come back to Boston, lead him to 3 straight 82-win seasons, and then get fired because he doesn't have a good roster. And then the Red Sox front office are like, well, what did we do wrong? What did we do? And then they just keep going through that cycle because they caught lightning in a bottle in 2018, and you can't.
No, I can't wait for the phone call when Alex is in Detroit and George is in Boston. That will be the best phone call.
That will be the end of this show. That will be the very end of this show. I promise you guys, there is no doubt in my mind. I'm gonna say there's a 90% chance Alex Cora is the manager of the Red Sox. 90% chance.
Is this your personal feelings, or is this like actual reporting that you've heard?
Both. A combination. I guarantee you, the only thing that is stopping the Red Sox from hiring him is PR. And again, everyone in the fan base wants fucking Alex Cora to manage this team. And
then you're no better than the Houston Astros and your evil empire part 2.
Well, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess. You know,
you have become what you hate most. You are the New York Yankees if you do that.
Hey,
I got a question for you now. Now that Sam compared you to the Astros, here's a question. It's for both of you. Would you rather be the Astros and have that 2017 ring and championship, or not have it at all?
I wouldn't want to hear about that shit. Fuck no. As a fan, no chance. No chance. You know, I would rather lose in the first round there. I'm all set there. I don't need that hanging on my back. I don't need every time I talk about my baseball team. All right, the trash cans. Yeah. No, I'm all right.
No, I agree. I was just curious.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I even tweeted out in the series against Oakland. I was like, "Where are the trash cans? They brought them out somewhere. They're in Dodger Stadium. Where are they?"
Yeah, that will hang around for the Astros forever now. So no.
Until every single one of those players is off the team, and none of them are coaching either. Like, which speaking of,
that's a while because you know some of them are going coaching.
Which speaking of, Jose, would you want? I'm gonna laugh if the Red Sox go and hire Carlos Beltran instead.
That would be another worst case scenario. I'd shoot my kneecap.
That doesn't have anything to do with the cheating, though. I just don't want an inexperienced manager like that.
No, I mean, again, if you're going to hire Carlos Beltran, why not hire Alex Cora? I don't know. They're the same individual in my head, cheating scandal-wise, PR-wise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'd take Alex Cora, where he's got the more experience over Carlos Beltran.
No, I'm agreeing with you. No, for sure.
Alex Cora has like 200 games as a manager?
But he's got a World Series title. You know.
Yeah, but he cheated to get.
He did not.
This is just comparing the two between him and Beltran. But come on, whether it's 200 games or not, one he was a bench coach for a while, so he's got the experience in that sense. And then as a manager, while Beltran just got the playing days. So I'll take Alex over Carlos.
And according to the Astros, all those fucking reports after, Carlos Beltran's a big dickhead that forced them all into doing all these things. That's what the reports were like. You know, Carlos Beltran intimidated us. No, I'm all right. Alex Cora. No, hey Sam, you got me all hot now because I don't talk about the Red Sox often now. I like to keep my Red Sox thoughts to myself. You know, we're gonna be fine. Blah blah blah. But if Alex Cora is not the manager of this team, I'm going to be angry.
I don't know why I just don't bring back the guy from this.
Is there any manager out there that you would be okay with instead of Alex Cora?
Absolutely not even one. I could have the ghost of Joe Torre, fucking GOAT manager, come out. No, I'm all right.
What about Dusty?
Fuck no. The only person
I honestly can see that though.
No,
because he's a 1 year deal. AJ Hinch goes back to Houston. You guys side Dusty Baker.
The only person I would even just be like, maybe would be the, oh my God, I just lost his name too. Motherfucking goodness. I forgot his name. So no one is the answer there. The answer is no one. It is Alex Cora or bust. There's no manager on this earth I want. My second choice is so irrelevant that I can't even remember his name anymore.
I'll put my application in.
I burn it. Burn it straight to the ground.
I sent mine in an email, so you can't even do that.
Yeah, well, hey guys, like I said, the Red Sox are going to hire Alex Cora. They're going to do great. Alex Cora is going to get this team into fucking something next year. They'll make the playoffs. They're not.
And then he'll bring in his former player, George Springer.
They're not going to bring in George Springer because that would be a nightmare. I do not want that.
I can't wait for the call like one random like January day when I'm just sitting in my work cubicle and I get a call from Jose just screaming angry because the Red Sox go out and hire like Rob Gardenhire or something like that.
Terrible.
Last thing I got on this.
Yeah.
Would you rather Alex in Boston? Oh wait, would you rather if it meant Alex is back, he brings in George Springer, or would you rather not another?
I'll take George. You could come on down if it means Alex, I guess.
Okay.
That's how important manager Alex Cora is to me. Just because we talk about the game strategy of a manager, that doesn't mean shit anymore. They don't do anything. Aaron Boone.
So why do you care about the managers then?
Because I care about how he talks and interacts with all the players. Because he made every single person on the 2018 Red Sox better. I don't know what he did. I don't know how he does it, but they all
brought it up.
They all love him. They all want him to come back for some odd reason. Who knows?
They couldn't figure out how to cheat without him.
And they win. They win because they don't cheat.
Time out. I can tell you why they want him back, whether they cheated or not. They want him back because he got him a World Series. That's why they want him back. It's quite simple why they want him back.
No. He didn't give him the World Series. Mookie Betts and Chris Sale putting the entire team on their back got them the World Series.
Hey, you just got to find the next Mookie Betts and Alex Verdugo.
Oh yeah. Let's just go ahead and find the next Mookie Betts. It took like
we already
6 years to find the next possible Mike Trout.
We got him.
If we're being honest, they do have him. I can see Xander stepping up.
I mean, Xander. If I love all this Red Sox, this warms my heart. Xander Bogaerts is going to get the C on his chest eventually. He's going to be the.
How does he not have it?
Because they have not. They don't. You know who the fuck gives out captainships, Andrew?
I thought you were just saying nobody. I thought you were just saying it in like a fan standpoint.
No,
like eventually he's going to take it over.
I mean the actual C on his chest. I think he's already the captain now. You're right.
Okay. I was going to say who has it now?
He is my Lord and Savior. I will die for Xander Bogaerts right now.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him with the big C and the Cubs jersey on his chest.
You know, a Cub that is potentially going to come to Boston. Chris Bryant.
I'd rather Devers.
He'd rather go in a dumpster fire than Boston.
I'm telling you right now, they're gonna after this year. The Fenway Sports Group. They're too busy buying players over at Liverpool. They needed to contract the money real fast. They made a terrible decision and not re-signing Mookie Betts. But now the checkbooks are back open. They need to build some goodwill with the fans. They're not going to re-sign George Springer. They're going to trade for a third baseman like Nolan Arenado or someone like that, and it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be.
And they're still going to finish fifth in the division.
No, because Sam, they win the World Series, they go into last place, they rebuild, and then the next year they win the World Series. That's how they do it. That is the Red Sox mantra, and I'm not going to question it. That's why I was very furious about the.
I was about to say, don't you dare say we're frustrated.
But I know that this team. I knew this team was going to be bad because they won a World Series the next year, and this is what they do. They're going to win 18, 20. We're going to do it. It's going to be fine. I'm not worried. The Red Sox right now have a better chance to win the World Series than the Phillies do, so I'm not worried.
You have a better chance of extending your 86-year streak again.
No, that's not true at all.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, Andrew, you guys refuse to sign your good players now too, so.
Yeah, but I mean,
you're in the same boat I am, buddy.
Oh, I are, but I'm saying the point of I don't know if I give you guys better World Series odds over us.
I do,
let's go to neutral fan. Sam, if you had to pick in between these two teams.
I'm not neutral. He hates the Red Sox.
I could be objective when I need to be.
No, he just hates Alex. He doesn't want you guys getting him back. He doesn't hate the Red Sox.
I just have a very, very low tolerance for cheating.
Exactly.
Well, then you cheat so that you don't have to worry.
Anyway, answer the question.
Who
as a Ranger fan, who would you if you had to put money on it right now? Who would have a better chance to win the World Series next year? The Philadelphia Phillies or the Boston Red Sox?
Next year, absolutely the Philadelphia Phillies.
Sam, if you woke up tomorrow morning and you looked at the newspaper and you said 2021, the Red Sox World Series champions, would you be like, "Oh, that's weird"? Or would
Yeah, absolutely. I would be questioning why I didn't take the other pill in the Matrix.
No.
Okay?
Wait,
No.
time out. If the paper said Phillies or Red Sox to win the World Series, we're going to wake up and say
you
no
would
one
be much
expected.
more surprised if you're like, the Phillies, they won a World Series? They haven't done that forever. The Red Sox do that every other year. See?
But that's not the argument, though. The argument is who has a better chance next year.
Oh,
we actually have a manager.
You have a better manager than Alex Cora.
No chance. Don't bring me that bullshit, Sam. I will not have that slander. I will not. Joe Girardi?
Better pitching staff top to bottom, starting wise. Both of our bullpens are trash.
Well, the Red Sox, I'm still thinking the 2018 Red Sox, to be honest. That's who I'm picking.
You're not the 2018 Red Sox anymore.
So
You're the 2020 Red Sox.
We're comparing the 2021 Phillies to the... Yes, in that case, the 2018 Red Sox have a better chance of winning the World Series.
Andrew, I'm willing to pose to you this. I think the Red Sox should have a better record than the Phillies next year.
Well, we'll see what happens in free agency. But right now, if we went into it with the squads right now, I would say the Phillies would have.
Well, right now, before free agency, I was willing to say that the Red Sox will have a better record than the Phillies.
I disagree.
Well, hey, re-sign your players.
Same to you.
Hey, we don't have any players to re-sign anymore, buddy. There we go.
Jackie Bradley.
No, Jackie. I love you. Just go fly away, dog. It's time to fly. I've seen you for 8 years now. I need something. I need something else.
You know, let's just be honest. Rangers are the best chance of them all.
Yeah, well, they have got a Cy Young winner. You know, they've got the best pitcher.
Got two.
They've got the best pitcher in baseball.
I wish Corey Kluber was. Wish he was healthy.
Well, he's.
Oh no, we are absolutely going to suck next year. I expect us to pick top 5 again.
This is fun. Oh my gosh, Jesus Christ! Someone just came up beside me and scared the absolute shit out of me.
Shout out to whoever that was. Great job.
Oh
I don't know if they can hear me, but great job.
Absolutely startled the hell out of me just now. That was hilarious. Well, thanks everyone for watching. We were gonna finish about like 20 minutes ago, and then Sam got me all fucking hot and bothered about the Red Sox. So
was talking Red Sox.
Yeah, that was talking Red Sox. Thanks for everyone that's watching. Still. World Series coming, guys. I can't wait. Let's get excited about it. Andrew, see you on Tuesday.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Sam, I'll see you before the World Series.
Looking forward to it.
It's been a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys out next week.